Well, that was quite a day. It was day 2, part B of the schooling. We had 20 horses today. I had Jason's horse in a set with us, but he went yesterday. I didn't notice, but in between all the sets, Jason went with his colt, Rem in Hanover, by himself on the gate. Just wanted to get him some gate work, so he didn't need to go today. I had his filly. I guess his filly's not ready to go yet. She had a curb cry out, so we were down to 20. We had 6 full sets of 3 and 1 set of 2, making 20 horses. So 50, that makes, is that so? Hi. That makes 53 horses that went in behind the starting gate over the last 2 days. Absolutely no problems. I don't know why I thought there would be. These horses, there was 2 gentlemen pulled up to the fence and they were taking pictures today. They were taking pictures today of the horses, and guy said, "Geez,
I was gonna sneak up on him."
I know." The gentleman said, "I can't believe how well behaved these horses are," and I really am not often shocked, but even I was surprised. The only horse that shied away yesterday, Let's Roll On. I don't think he shied away. I think it was switching gears. I know Johnny and a lot of people that own shares in. Just take her over to Mom, honey. What's that, sweetie?
Can I go outside?
No, we're leaving here in a sec. This isn't going to take long. No, stay with me. So, I don't know why I would ever be surprised. They were all fantastic. Girls with Swirls shied away from the gate. Let's Roll On. Girls with Swirls in Angus Hall. There's 2 kinds of Angus Halls. The ones that are scared of the gate and the ones that want to go right through the gate. So I'm happy to have the first kind. She'll be fine with the gate after a while. After we went a lap around, she went up to the gate, no problem. So that was the only one that didn't go right up to the gate in the 2 days. Even Let's Roll On went up to the gate, just switching gears coming out of the gate. He got a little out of gear and made a little break, come right up trotting and was fine afterwards. Especially since we went the first half out of the gate very slow. Any horses that made any mistakes or shied away, which that was the whole plan. If they did, they'd have more than enough time to catch up, and then we would go our mile. And we didn't need to because nobody had to catch up. So we had 6 sets of 3, 1 set of 2. First set was One My Heart Hanover. That's my girl, Tipsy and Dixie. Some heavyweights in there, and they were very good. Actually, no. One My Heart Hanover was good. I said to Amy she was sweating up a little more than I'd like to see. She was quiet, though. 2 fingers, right up to the gate, no problem whatsoever. Had no issues with her in that regard. She went out of there. I got away third, looped her over to the front past the quarter. She did her work great, as she always does. But I just thought she kind of had a blah day. And that's good. I mean, when she can be as good as she was today and not feel awesome, that's a good thing. That's My Girl was awesome. She was coming to me down the lane hard. James said she tried a big last half, big last quarter. In fact, James had said to me after, he says, I don't know much about Indiana. He said, but is there any of this filly left? Which there is. So That's My Girl. A filly that we always kind of thought had talent. She had her moments when is she good? Is she not? Is she okay? James is of the belief now, and he let her hobbles out today to train. He's of the belief that, 1, she may not need them to qualify, and if she does, she just needs them on loose. He believes that when she got to a setting like Mohawk or Hoosier Park, where she's staked, that she will be a monster. So that's from him to me to you. And Tipsy and Dixie's always good. I know a lot of people, I feel that a lot of people come here and they want to see all their horses go big last half, big last quarters. And if they don't, I feel sometimes they leave upset or unentertained, I guess. People have to understand that today it was about the gate. Yesterday it was about the gate. It wasn't about speed. And when it comes to Harry in particular, he takes his time, and I appreciate that with the horses. Mary and I don't always see eye to eye on how the horses should train, but all the babies are trained our way. But that isn't because I don't believe Harry Polton can train a horse good. I mean, he trained on the road again, Matt Scooter, and probably a lot of horses that you didn't know. Harry Polton's a world-class trainer, so is Kevin, Danny, Mario, Jane. All these people are around great horses, and the reason that I want them trained our way is because I'm responsible for them, right? The horses don't turn out well, it's my fault. If they do turn out great, I'm happy to give all the accolades to the people that are taking care of them at the time being. And You know, I said last week how much I appreciate the passion that a guy like Kevin puts in. And Kevin and I have butted heads before, but Kevin McMaster puts a lot of love and a lot of passion into these horses and takes it very seriously. I was down on War We Was Up today. Margot, who owns some shares of War We Was Up, was at the fence. And Kevin comes up and he goes, listen, can you go with Adrenaline Rush and I'll go with War We Was Up? I said, yeah, no problem. I'm happy to. And I let Adrenaline Rush rock a little bit. Hi.
Hey, what you?
I let Adrenaline Rush rock a little bit. And Where We Was Up finished third. And, I didn't get a chance to catch up with Margot after. But, Where We Was Up come last half in 104 and 4 in the jog cart today, catching up to us. So what do you want to do? We'll just meet at home and get something to eat? Anyway, back to our sets. I just feel that sometimes, people come up. There was two gentlemen at the fence today. I believe they waited all day to watch Rito Sunshine go. And even they said, I can't believe how well-behaved and well-mannered the horses were. And I'm not shocked, but I was a little surprised that not one horse, even Girls with Swirls, the way I thought the sets would go behind the gate for the first time ever was like everybody acting like her, shying away from the gate, a little timid, not wanting to go up to it. You get a full lap or even two into them, then they start to creep up close to it. Geez, we had some horses just go up and plant their nose right on the gate like they've been behind it dozens of times. And even Harry said to me, he said, geez, I thought that maybe these horses had been on the gate before, the way they were acting. And it was impressive. One, My Heart Hanover went up. That's My Girl went up. Tipsy and Dixie, the first set, they were all perfect. Girls with Swirls was in the second set. She was a little timid at it. She was in with Jesse Balboa, and he went right up to it. So those two sets were great. As I said, One, My Heart Hanover, I didn't think she was awesome today. I thought she was good, but she looked real good, and That's My Girl was fantastic. Then in the third set, I went a pretty good last half with Adrenaline Rush, and I got a little scolding from James about it, and Adrenaline Rush is deceptively fast. I said to James, yesterday I chased My Jazz a little bit, and he got mad because I hit her with the whip, and I said, I don't like when horses hesitate for any reason. And My Jazz was looking around, going by a horse after the mile, and I hit her a swat, and she went by, and she half went by, and I hit her another swat, and she took off. Adrenaline Rush today, I really didn't need to let him, I didn't really need to let him roll like that, but on the right line a bit, but man, oh man, he's fast. Oliver, I said stop, bud. He's a really, really fast colt. Last half in 104, 103 and 4 in the jog cart, in a mile and a half setting. So all these horses seem, none of them are blowing after they're all ready to go. That way, as far as their physicality is concerned, most everybody's ready to go. If I was going to pick a fault with Adrenaline Rush, he was on the right line a little bit. His gait, the way he hits the ground, strikes the ground, I would say his knees are bothering him a little bit. Lots of them are bothering them right now. Not really too concerned. The fact that he did that today and was so impressive doing it. This is a horse that, as James said also, and he's 100% right, this horse is much better off a helmet, much better following. I was on the front the whole way with him, and this was all work that he did on the front end. Kevin had said after that Where We Was Up come a last half 104 and a bit and was very, very good. I don't think Kevin knew we were going to let them roll a little bit. And I think when I stepped in the accelerator, Where We Was Up lost a few lengths, and then when we're going that speed, it's impossible to make it up. So I felt bad. I didn't get to see Margot after, but Where We Was Up was very, very good. And of course, Mary and Jerry own a piece of. If you've ever been to the training center, ever, any day, pick a day, any day, and there are two people sitting in seats out in front of the area where everybody goes. They're right out in front of the veranda. There's two people always sitting there. That's Mary and Jerry. They're there every day, and they own a piece of Adrenaline Rush, and we're pretty impressed today, as I was impressed also. A horse that I was surprised was so quiet today was Brilliant Corners. Here's a horse that maybe he's figured it out. This is maybe the most stubborn, ignorant horse we've had in quite some time. He might be a little stupid too, but he was uncontrollable up until about 3-4 weeks ago. The job Danny has done with him has been absolutely fantastic. And for those of you thinking that we're just going to continue on without Danny, that's a big hole to fill in this operation. And when Danny's fit and well, I'm sure he'll come up to the fence and help us out in that regard. But we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll finish this first. Brilliant Corners was very, very good today. James went with him, and Kevin went with Warby Was Up. He was great. I will tell you this right now. I underestimated a filly, a trotting filly in this training center. And I have no problem telling you which ones are good, which ones I think are great. I've gushed over Won My Heart Hanover. I've talked about Frilly Fringes, That's My Girl. Horses that just, I think, are very, very good horses and have a lot to offer. I grossly underestimated how talented Rose Run Why Not is. I went with this filly today. I came a big last half, and she felt like a free-for-aller coming into the last turn. James was coming 100 with Northern Blizzard. If you guys happen to catch Northern Blizzard on Saturday, you know what kind of talent this colt has. James came first over, and we were marching coming out of the last turn. And Rose Run Why Not actually kept him at bay the whole way down the lane. He was a length behind me at that lane, and he stayed a length behind me right into the turn. We were smoking on the end of it. And Rose Run Why Not, I've said has talent. You know, we had a lot of people that said, are you going to go with Rose Run Why Not? I think you guys don't appreciate how much Danny coddles these horses, and Harry, and even Kevin, and Mario, and James, how they protect their horses a little more, some of them than the others. Mario, where we welcome, obviously he cut her loose 2 weeks ago, but he's very protective of that filly. Walk on the Moon, same thing. James is with Eternity Road and a number of horses over here. Then you look at Harry's barn. Harry's very protective of everybody. Surreal Love was good today, and he's very, very protective of that horse. You know, Kevin with his horses, everybody protects. There's a couple that kind of that they're overprotective with, and I think that's the type of horse you're gonna find is like Rose Run Why Not. I didn't know she could do that. I knew she was talented. I kept telling everybody, just relax. This filly's got a big engine. I put her in gear halfway down the backstretch, and she blew through the last turn. We come out of the last turn, I'm like, geez, Blizzard might get me. And I just tapped her on the tail. There was an entire gear there I had never seen before. She dropped her arse and was gone. Very, very impressive. And for those of you out there saying, Anthony, you're always talking this one's impressive and that one's impressive, just so we set the record straight, there hasn't been a share available for Rose Run Why Not other than the private market ever. She was sold out at the sale, I believe, when I bought her. So it's not like I'm trying to pump her wheels, pump her tires, so everybody runs out and buys shares of Rose Run Why Not. There is no shares available and hasn't been forever. I'm just giving you the straight goods on a filly that I went with today that I thought was absolutely fantastic. So Rose Run Why Not was, I'll tell you this, we went with some good horses today. Nobody impressed me as much. Now, it's a little unfair. I assume That's My Girl's a nice horse. I assume Won My Heart Hanover is a nice horse. Rose Run Why Not leaped forward in my mind of what I thought. I thought she was good, thought she was effective. What she did today was nothing short of impressive. Northern Blizzard was really good in there, closing up with me. And behind them was Captain's Maid. You might say, well, she's a pacer. She wasn't ready to tangle with those two horses today, and Harry did a good job. She stayed really close and was coming to us at the wire. Really, really good today. I went with No Free Lunch after that. Now, Danny had said to me 2 weeks ago, No Free Lunch is fast, but going into that turn after the mile, it almost seems like he protects that right front a little bit. You're 100% correct, Danny. He did today on me. I didn't see it, and then we watched him jogging away after that, and he seemed fine to me. And he's like, maybe it's just me. It wasn't just him. He's right. He did that to me today. No head pulls or anything, so it's not like he gets on a line. But when he busts into that turn, you can feel him kind of box his gait up a little bit. So I think we're actually going to let his hobbles out, and we're going to put a set of flip-flops on No Free Lunch this week and see how he is. But big last half from him today. Really, really good mile from him. He's learning. I really like this horse. He shows a lot of pop. Now, in the next set, we went a little slower. Surreal Love was his first training trip after having his curb crowd. Working on my beach bot. Yeah, bud.
Can we do the video while we're driving?
Oh, can we do the video while we're driving? Actually, we can. You're right. Thank you, Polly. I didn't know it was so frustrating for you to sit here, bud. Ollie was actually very good today. The kids were good today. I told them if they were good today and did their homework good, because now we're homeschooling. I can't be a full-time teacher. I would assault one of the children. So I stay away. I do some videos and some emails, and Amy teaches. I help them with their homework a little bit, math questions and whatnot, but to teach them full-time, I have a new respect for teachers. a new respect for teachers when it comes to homeschooling. So Ollie and Ava, they've been pretty good though. And I told them if they were good today, they were good at the barn, and they were good at home doing their homework, that I'd take them to where, Ollie? Dairy Queen. So we will, you half the day you were good. Let's see if you can get the other half out of the way. So today we got the
have a little bit of free time, like
No,
until they
no.
make lunch.
No, you're gonna go right into homework so we can go for an early supper. I don't know why it is. I'm not physically running around as busy as I've been, going to the races and driving here and growing there and everywhere. But right now, I feel like an old man. 10:30 at night, I'm like, better turn in. I'm the guy that used to write emails till 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's just weird. Just a weird setting. Everything's changed, right? I'm sure you guys are going through the same thing. Your worlds are turned upside down, and it'll be nice to get back to, at least try to get back in the grind, as they say, in the coming months. Anyway, we don't got to talk about that. As I said, no free lunch. We're going to let his hobbles out and put flip-flops on him. Very impressive mile from him. I think he has a lot to offer. I think a lot of the horses that I went with, so Mama Knows Best, Jason's done a good job with her, running in a little bit, little pinchy on her right hind, but as I said to Harry today, Harry and I get into an argument a little bit this morning. It isn't that I think she's lame today, or lame yesterday. Does she seem a little off right hind? Yeah. I'm not so sure it's not from interfering, and I think her knees are bothering her. It's an Uncle Peter trait to begin with, and I think maybe she's interfering and touching a little bit, and she's protective as much of that right hind. And what I meant was, you see horses that are off right hind, they'll coast over on the shaft. If they're off right hind, they'll usually end up over on the left shaft. And Harry's argument was that's not always the case. Yes, Harry was right. It's not always the case. But when it comes to young trotters having actual injuries and actual problems, I believe that if you're going to be off right hind, you are going to be over on the left shaft. Does that mean that she can't show a little soreness in her right hind and not creep over to the left part of the left center, so to speak? I believe that's the case, that if she has a few little aches and pains, you can stay somewhat centered. But I think when you're dealing with acute lameness, where maybe an OCD or some sort of issue, we're not talking about any lameness issues, but if there was anything serious, put it this way, if there's anything serious going on, she would be over on the left shaft a little bit more than she is. That's what I was getting at. But I think that when we really snap the horses and let them roll, I think you have to build that, right? That, as they call in athletes, that fast twitch muscle. You have to work on that. You have to build that. And in the old days, you could do that when you got to the races. 3, 4, 5 starts, you could have that fast twitch muscle. You could. It's not muscle that you can't build afterwards. But I would rather have it going in. I would rather know that our horses are effective and that our horses can be used in that manner. And I think that's where there's a little oil water situation with Harry and I. But make no mistake, Harry's done a great job with the babies he has. He's done a great job with the 3-year-olds he has. I respect the fact that he is a part of the stable, the same as Kevin is, the same as Danny still is, and Jason and James and Mario. We all have our little different ways, but I'll let people color outside the lines a little bit, but they are still to be trained our way, because I'm responsible, right? That's really what it is. So when it comes to the 2-year-olds, before they get to the races, they need to be trained the same way. And when it comes to Harry training them, you might see Harry finish a few lengths back with Tipsy and Dixie, because Harry doesn't want to gun them. And if I was really worried about it, I'd be going with Tipsy and Dixie. So I went with, leading into the 6th set, I went with Rito Sunshine today. Harry went with Surreal Love, and James went with his own horse. After the mile, I went with Rito Sunshine 2 weeks ago, considering that Surreal Love hadn't trained in 2 weeks. It was a little bit of a mismatch. And then James's colt, the speed is there, but he needs to learn, right? He's still rocky and out of gear, and James knows that. And then him and Johnny are working consistently, and I do see a lot of improvement. Not that it matters, not my horse, but you do see that improvement from the horse. And as I said to James, as you start pouring speed into him and consistently get these miles into him where he stays at it, he'll either get a little sore if something's bothering him, or he'll get better. And as of right now, I think from the day I went with him, 2-3 weeks ago, I think there's been forward progression from the colt. So it's not all overnight, right? This takes time sometimes. Surreal Love was good. Harry put him on the front end. He really, really likes this horse. And here's the thing. If you don't like Surreal Love, you just don't like horses. He may, if you look back to when I really drilled down on him way back when, first part of the year, end of December almost, this horse looked awesome. Move him and he just come charging out of the backfield. But he was never the soundest. He's got a left curb that bothers him, and Harry is very, very careful with this horse. I think in regards to him, he's already had that twitch muscle. He had it when I started moving him. He had it when we worked hard on him, and it's not going anywhere. And I think when we start him back up, he'll be just fine. I really, really like watching him go. And, Harry loves Tipsy and Dixie, and he loves Surreal Love. And I like the fact that he puts that passion into the horses, because I do too. So Surreal Love ended up finishing third. But I moved over at that lane. I was on the front with Rito Sunshine. Harry actually moved Surreal Love to the front. Then James came with working on Beach Bod, and I just wheeled him out. This horse we've already been a big last half, a big last quarter, a real hard workout with Rito Sunshine. So there was really no concerns. I moved him over, and he just blew right by the pair of them, and I wrapped him up down by the wire, and James's horse fought on with him. He looked good, and then Surreal Love was right behind us, and that was the first training trip for a couple of weeks for Surreal Love. So I was really happy with the way he looked. And then in the last set, you saw Can't Muscle Me make a break last week. And I watched the video over and over and over and over again where she made that break. And I'm just trying to figure out what is going on. Is she just touching herself? I mean, is she just interfering somewhere, switching into that top gear from the middle gear? That happens. Is that what took place? Or is it something else? And I could swear that you can almost see her. You see that front leg moving a different way. I'm pretty sure she just touched herself. She wears one knee boot on the left as she does come close to that knee going slow. I think she just reached up and touched that knee boot. With that bell boot on, that rubber on rubber, sometimes it sticks and the momentum is thrown at a kilter and the horses can make breaks. That's why a lot of drivers do not want to drive horses with knee boots and bell boots on. I was always one. And because they can make breaks or they can do something much worse sometimes. You won't find very many drivers that drive full-time that are very impressed or enthusiastic about driving horses with knee boots and bell boots on, because it can turn into a problem. We took the bell boots off her. I moved her twice in the mile, and she was very good. I wouldn't say she was as impressive as Rose Run Why Not today, but she was good. And Teresa takes care of both of those horses. And Teresa said to me, he's ready for homework. And Teresa said to me, how was she? I said, good. Not quite as good as your other filly, but good. I was very happy with Can't Muscle Me today also. In there was Perfect Record. He was good also. And Mario, I said to Kevin, we'll send Mario with Sunshine in May. Mario went with Sunshine in May. He said she was good. Now she wears a Murphy blind and a hood and a snake cord. For a little tiny horse, she can get a little bully sometimes. And he rolled right up alongside me down the lane with that Murphy on. She just kind of sat there, which I don't like, but she's got a lot to learn in a short time. Not in a short time. She's got a lot to learn, put it that way. But, Sunshine in May is just going to be a decent little filly, a nice little raceway filly. There's certainly nothing wrong with that, and I can't wait to race her this summer. I need her to learn a little bit more. Kevin's done a great job getting her under control. Mario said she was fine in that regard. She just needs to do her work better. So, but that's why we have days like today. So, in a long way, I know I talked about a lot of things, but at the same time, when I leave the barn, this is the stuff that's rattling around in my head. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier with the day overall. Couldn't be happier with the babies. If I was to pick one horse that was just a little bit above everybody else today, I think you guys know I love One My Heart Hanover, but it was Rose Run Why Not. She was absolutely fantastic today. Couldn't be happier with that filly today. Now, I had told you guys, if you're still watching, I told you guys over the next week we want to work and put some money together for Aaron and Danny. We'll probably start an in-house, with everything going on in the world, it's pretty hard to start GoFundMe pages for people. I mean, the whole world needs a GoFundMe page right now. But when it comes to Danny and Aaron, these are our people. One's a trainer, two is a diligent caretaker, somebody that feeds our horses at night, and I can tell you that's an unrespected job. Amy and I did it. Amy went and did it last night with Nellie. The night before I did it with, think about it, you have to dump the hay cubes in for 130 horses, dump the feed in for 130 horses, and make sure all 130 have a full bucket of water. that's feed time at the stable and every other barn. So yes, it is a little trying. It's a little frustrating, and definitely an underappreciated job. So we wanna do something for Aaron and Danny. I'll probably reach out over the next few days, and we'll put a little GoFundMe page together, just in-house, to see if we can't get some money together for them. We're going to continue to try and pay them and make sure that they're doing their job. Obviously, I had to hire people to do Danny and Aaron's job, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. Aaron will be back in a month or 6 weeks, probably, hopefully feeding, if she feels up to it. And Danny, I'm going to have to keep Danny out of the barn. Danny's a lot like me. The doctor said 6 weeks. Danny said 4. Might be closer to 8. You know, when you start talking about getting plates in your fibula and tibia, it's not cool. So get well soon to both of them, obviously, from me and you guys and everybody else at the stable, and we'll put together something for them this coming weekend. So although I babbled for 25 minutes, I wanted to make sure I conveyed how impressed I was with our youngsters over the last 2 days. One My Heart Hanover was good, as I said. That's my girl. Girls with Swirls, Adrenaline Rush is a nice colt. Brilliant Corners, come a long way in 3 weeks. Warwi Was Up was very good, just did his work well, but he's such a nice horse. I never worry about Brilliant Corners. Brilliant Corners is, Warwi Was Up. Warwi Was Up's just a really nice horse. Put on weight, he looks like $1 million. He isn't on a line anymore, and he can flat out fly. Least of my worries is Warwi Was Up. Rose Run, Why Not, was fantastic today. Northern Blizzard was good as expected. Captain's Maid was good. No Free Lunch. We're going to let his hobbles out and put a set of flip-flops on him. I think you're going to see him come forward in a big way in the next few weeks. Rito Sunshine continues to look good. He has his days. He's what we call a little bit of a cheater, right? When I sit behind him, it's all hands on deck. When Harry sits behind him, Harry's a little more conservative with him, and I think the horse takes advantage of that sometimes, but that's perfectly fine also. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need a horse wound all the time, and that's a big part of the job, is on training day having them on their toes, but being able to have the versatility where you go out to jog them the next day and they're not crazy. That's when you know you have a pretty good horse. So Rito Sunshine was good. Surreal Love, I understand if you're out there and you're one of my partners with Surreal Love, you're like, Dan, he looks so good all winter, and now he just looks like he's in the middle of the pack. That's by design, right? We already know this horse has a great attitude, has a wonderful work ethic, trying to keep him sound so that when we do push that button when we get to the track, he's ready to go. And I'm of a firm belief, I agree 100% with Harry, this horse in particular, you won't have to ask him twice. He's a competitor, and I've been very happy with him and happy with him today. And then Can't Muscle Me, Sunshine in May, and Perfect Record in the last set. Everybody did their work well. That was the best set on the gate. They all put their nose right on the gate. So Sunshine in May looked like her mom. She was fine today. Perfect Record, I said to James, I think he has to learn how to use those hobbles a little bit better. And I feel when I look at him, physically, he might be a couple of weeks behind everybody else, simply because they're ready to go, right? They feel like they're ready to go right now, and he looks like he's like, just give me 2 more weeks, and there's nothing wrong with that because we have lots of weeks left. But Perfect Record is close, and Can't Muscle Me, I would say, a little bit ahead of him. But again, when you look at how Rose Run, Why Not went out of that barn today, they're at least 2 weeks behind Rose Run, Why Not? And I would suspect a lot of horses in their training center is. I can't say enough how much I underestimated how good this filly was. I kept telling you guys, she's good. Even I didn't know she was that good. So Rose Run, Why Not? Definitely ready to go to battle right now. So that was day 2 of training. I want to talk about the horses. I want to talk about what we're trying to do for Danny and Aaron in the coming weeks. And then we talked about the grooms also. The last thing I want to do is put anybody in the stable, caretakers, trainers, or clients, behind the 8 ball. So we'll tread lightly. Anyway, that is it. Ollie is still fake sleeping back there. He's got some homework to do when he gets home. And if he does it well, where do we go again, Ollie? Gotta check him. We will be heading to Dairy Queen at 5 o'clock. So, as I said I would, we continue to keep you guys informed. There won't be a drone on Saturday. We'll likely come back next sunny day. We're hoping for maybe Wednesday. I just got to check out the radar. Looks like Wednesday, maybe there'll be a little sun. 2 things have to happen. Needs to be a nice day, and the wind needs to be lower. The drone looks like crap, right? When he can't catch up to the horses and he can't see you, he's behind us the whole way down the lane. It's because he can't catch up to us in the wind. And when the wind starts getting up over 20 kilometers an hour, it's a problem for the drone. So hopefully we can have a drone day where it's nice and sunny, no wind. That would be perfect. It would have been our open house this weekend, our Mother's Day open house this weekend, but it's not. So we will endeavor to continue to train the horses good. I'm going to put them on the gate as much as I can so that when they say, okay, we can qualify, we're ready to go. Anyway, that's it. I know I rambled and babbled a little bit today. We got all the way to 31 minutes, but at the same time, I hope everybody got a good feel of how the days went. The last 2 days of training behind the gate, the horses showed their intelligence. Again, everybody was good on the gate. Even, like if I was to say the worst horse in the gate would have been Girls with Swirls, even she did, after a lap, put her nose right on the gate. So just a great day. A great day of gate training for the babies, and hopefully they keep it going moving forward in the coming weeks. So that's it. Hope you guys are having a great week. It is Thursday now. I was wrong yesterday. It was Wednesday. It is Thursday, and next drone day is probably coming up on Wednesday. Talk to you soon.